do we have to do for you now?
So I will tell you the grand story.
Mm-hmm.
I will then tell you how you could possibly help.
Yeah.
So I was a high-level banker in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for Bank of America, Royal Bank of Canada, Bank of Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
I raised myself since I was 10, educated in England.
Where are you from?
No, I'm from a part of the UK that I won't mention.
Okay.
Because it's part of the, well, it's all of the reason it caused this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, because of the amount of violence that goes on in the UK, racial hate, I just thought, screw this, and I went to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see from my resume, I've worked at a lot of high-profile places, even in Germany. I got a really bad accident in Toronto. I broke my ankle. I tried to take on big companies. They knew I was by myself. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm not showing off like I made all this money. I never took one day holiday. I worked from nothing to project coordinator, to business analyst, to project manager, to senior project manager. And the largest project I was running was 700 million at Bank of America. Then that scenario happened. All my friends in Toronto disappeared. I ended up pretty much on the street. And it was a case of, oh my God, we got this super high level guy. I was captain of all my sport teams, modeling, acting. I did everything myself. And I just got obliterated. So I had the opportunity to come to Germany. I said, look, I'm not coming with much, I'm vulnerable, blah, blah, blah. And I knew it was very critical that I learned German lessons as soon as I got here. So as soon as I got here in Düsseldorf, I went to all the Düsseldorf stay lawyers. I even went to the refugee thing. I said, look, anyone for help, German lessons, and everyone blocked me. No, you're not African, Muslim, you're not this, go away. So I could have quite easily starved on the street there. I then got sent to Würzburg, again, blocked from everything. No social care, blah, blah, blah. And it got to the point of where my first job in Germany, the only reason I survived to that point was I found students, couch surfing, people kind of knew my story a little bit and were trying to help. The problem is, anytime I've engaged any German government social, or when I got the first job at Sky Deutschland, my friend took me to Würzburg because he's like, the Würzburg Stadt. He's like, I can't believe you're being treated like this in Germany because Germany's supposed to have this and this and this and this. So what they said was, we're not going to give you any accommodation in Munich to start your job, but we'll give you 600 euros and you got to get to your first pay packet. I said, I can do that. So what happened is I got to Munich, the Stadt of Würzburg turned around and said, no, we're not giving you the money. Why? Just because we don't want to. So I never saw that money. So it was a friend who gave me money. I got started, and unfortunately, when I got to Sky Deutschland, there was mobbing, sexist comments made. My boss was American. The German boss had just moved out, and this American lady had come in, no idea what she was doing. Put a lot of the blame on me because I was new. And in German law, you have to pay AOK within the first 8 weeks, right? They didn't do that. They screwed up the Finance Act code. I didn't get paid. So I went to Munich in a bad situation, and they totally screwed me. Wouldn't give me my laptop to work. So I got an Arbeitshelfen lawyer, and this is where it started to go really badly wrong. Trust me, I'll get your money back. So I sent him, you know when you have snipe of, or you have instant message? I had snipe after snipe after snipe of horrendous emails, pictures, videos, everything. This Christian Krobniker on Victoria Strickelstraße in Munich took all my evidence. I gave him a Berechnung, which basically stated that all his costs were covered for this case. So I had no money anyway. And what he needed from me was my bank statements, where I'm living, all this kind of stuff. So he got everything. Then he said he lost all my information and I had to give it to him again. I said, well, you know, this is not easy for me, right? I'm living in a terrible place. So I went and gave it to him again. I said, I would like to come to the Arbeitsgericht with you. No, that's against German law. Well, I later found out that's not true. I could have gone to the Arbeitsgericht.
Oh.
Yes, but he point blank said, I'm not allowed.
On the first stage, he can go without you. On the second stage, when it comes to further verhandeln, was heißt verhandeln?
Yes, to actually go through the court case. Yeah.
Of course, you can always.
No, I was not allowed to go, period. He wouldn't let me go anywhere near the Arbeitsgericht with him. So essentially what it turns out was he was going to the Arbeitsgericht, and I had the BTO and Sky Deutschland's laptop and phone. And when you're in IT, normally when the deal is done, I give back the laptop and they give me my money. He didn't mention the mobbing, he didn't mention the assault, he didn't mention all the things that I'd given him proof of. He took a backhander from Sky Deutschland and BTO, and everything was being done by WhatsApp. That's illegal. So then he sent me an email saying, come and get your 2,500 euros. I'm like, why is it 2,500 euros? It should be way more than that. Come and we'll talk. I went to his office. He said, oh, this 2,500 euros covers all my costs. You get nothing. Get out. And then he became extremely violent, threw me out of his office. I called the police. He said, he's German, you're not. He keeps your money. Get another lawyer. He's had my money for over 17 months, 18 months. And the problem is...
Fertig?
Ja.
Und wartest du drauf, ich komme gleich.
Steht am Ausgang auch.
Genau, und dann hier auf der Bank eben so, ich weiß nicht, ob die Tür vorne schon zu ist.
Ja.
Sonst einfach draußen warten, ich brauche noch einen Moment, ne?
Ja.
Okay.
So then the problem is I couldn't get another lawyer in Munich to do anything. No lawyer. I started a job in SAP on December 10th. My boss was from the UK, and that's where my problem is, because they really don't like the part of the UK I'm from. It's all political crap. So he's from London, and he's very racist, a drunk, and he was just basically forcing drugs, forcing alcohol. If you don't do it, you're not a team player. Deleting my work, sending global emails out, assassinating my character, physical attacks, calling me a bitch. I mean, it got so bad, I went to Waldorf and explained all this. So Waldorf had all the information. Again, they didn't pay AOK, didn't pay my wage. And the problem is, because I can't speak German, and Sky Deutschland and SAP was supposed to send me for German lessons and didn't, when they all did what they did, I had no idea what was going on. And I'm left outside. So essentially, I went on an English-speaking website. They said, if you have an employment case in that particular city, you have to go somewhere else. So I went to Hanover.
Where I come from.
Where you come from? Okay, so I had a lawyer there.
What's his name?
Daniel Leberbach. And essentially what he did was, it said you have to make German friends, you're not allowed to leave Hanover. If I leave Hanover, he's no longer my lawyer.
Why? For what reason?
Well, he told me that's German law.
Ah, bullshit.
Well, yeah, I don't know that. So what happened is, I was staying in hostel after hostel after hostel and hotel, and my money is just going to zero. And essentially what happened was, he proved that AOK has to pay me Krankengeld until next summer because I passed my 6 months probation. So I passed my 6 months probation when I was on sick. So we set a court date to go to SAP. This Daniel Laberbach set the wrong date. The only reason I found out was I went to Munich and they said, no, you've been given the wrong information. So 1 week before I go to court against SAP, I got attacked. My Commerce bank account got closed. The lawyer in Hanover said, oh, you're in an emergency hospital in Hanover, in Düsseldorf. You're no longer in Hanover. I told you not to leave city. I'm no longer your lawyer. So that was his excuse for taking on SAP. So now I'm couch surfing. I'm running totally out of money. I have no food, no nothing. I've been attacked several times. So now I have a lawyer in Cologne, a very high profile lawyer, Bettman. He took on the German government and everything. So I showed him, I said, Commerce Bank closed my bank account with money in it. I have a credit card, I have an overdraft, and I said, all of this happened 1 week before I was supposed to go to court against SAP. That cannot be coincidence. So he wrote 2 letters.
Ja, guten Tag. Hallöchen. Ja, das hat sich schon erledigt. Ich wollte fragen, wenn du im Auto nächste Woche ich sag, aber das ist schon alles geregelt, weil ihr das auch braucht. Ich hole ein anderes. Gerolstein, genau. Gruber, genau. Ich fahre immer nett fehlt. Ich will keine Elektroschwuchtel. So eine Dreckschleuder fahre ich nicht. Nein, also ich kriege ein eigenes Auto. Wahrscheinlich ist das nächste Woche auch schon da. So gab es ja Roma ein Kombi da irgendwie von der Müllabfuhr, so ein Dienstwagen, die so aus mussten. Aber dann haben wir hier erstmal, dann ist das auch ein bisschen einfach. Dann können wir mal mit dem Auto fahren und so weiter. Das ist alles ein bisschen easier dann. Okay, ich habe hier gerade noch Kunden. Bis dann, ja? Tschüss. Ja, alles klar, danke, tschüss.
So the lawyer in Hanover got paid from the state, and right when I needed him, you're in a hospital in another city, I told you if you leave Hanover, and that's what he did to me. So then I get to Düsseldorf. So I've gone to Hanover, they won't give me anything because they're like, well, you're not from Hanover, you get no food, no water, no accommodation, so I have to pay everything myself. Düsseldorf, same thing. So what I was waiting to do was wait to go to get another court date for the Arbeitsgericht in Munich, right? So then I have doctors all over Germany now, purely because I've had to move because of the situation I got put in. So I was in the Jungenberger hostel in Cologne, and I went to an internet cafe, and they started demanding money. I'm almost finished. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm almost finished. I got attacked with an axe. I now have a hole in my cornea. I now have damage down the back of my spine, and they were referencing SAP. So now I ended up in 3 Cologne hospitals, in like total emergency, blood all over the place. I've had my clothes stolen 200 times, suits, jackets, shoes. It's almost everything to make me look homeless. So what happened is I'm now down to nothing. I've gone a week at a time without food or water, being spat at, people think I'm homeless. And I ended up in Trier purely because of couchsurfing. Then I met Matt Herzog, who happens to be a social worker. So he started to try and do some investigation, try and get me going, blah, blah, blah. He has a spare room in his house, and I was staying there for a while, but his girlfriend doesn't like me. So she's like, he's got to get out. So then I ended up under buses, under shelters. But what he did do he did take me a couple of times to the Arbeitsgericht where I got Berechtigungen guns. And the problem is anytime you get a Berechtigungen gun and a lawyer goes like that, I'm not your lawyer anymore, you can't get another one.
Yeah.
So what I can show you is, so I've had 5 lawyers take me all the way to getting to court and then go, actually, you know what, you speak English, I'm not your lawyer. Same thing happened in Trier. Same thing happened in Trier. I have 2, this lawyer here. You know what it is the case of, sir? These big companies, Sky Deutschland, SAP, Commerzbank, and AOK, who owe me tens of thousands of euros, are trying to get me to sleep outside, something bad happens to me, I die, they don't have to pay nothing. It's now become that brutal. And the thing is, this Trier lawyer, I took German people in there with me, so for 3 months he knew I didn't speak English. He proved that lawyer in Munich is lying and has all my money. Just before we go to the Arbeitsgericht, oh, you speak English, I'm not your lawyer anymore. And just drop me. And I will die if this does not stop.
That sounds very weird.
Well, it's happened in every city now, sir. If you actually contact the trade union, they proved it because they called the people themselves and they verified it. So if you call Mikel in the Trier trade union, they verified everything I've just said because they went through it all yesterday. And for me to even be in this situation, I worked my ass off not to be like this, but they are breaking the law. All over the place.
The question is, how can I be helpful to you?
One last thing I would say, just read that from a German perspective. You cannot close a bank account anywhere in the world without notice, with money in it. So I was like, I mean, have you even heard anything like that? So I was in Portugal trying to relax, right? So all in the 1 week, my Krankengeld got stopped, my SAP got stopped, my email got stopped, Commerce Bank closed my bank account. It's impossible. They did it totally on purpose, so I am stranded in another country. The only reason I got back from Portugal...
Have you heard from the lawyer anymore?
He basically said, oh, you speak English? Now I'm not your lawyer. I've gone through 5 or 6 of these, all in different cities, and it's the same thing. They take the money...
This is from Trier, isn't it?
Yes.
Ja. Ja, Fohlen. Nee, eben nicht. Fohlen war das. Ich brauche noch einen Moment. Ich brauche hier noch einen Moment. Ich fahre Sie da gleich hin, aber ich muss noch brauchen noch einen Moment. Okay? Alles klar? Jo.
I mean, that's a medical attest that the longer this goes on, I'm going to break.